So since I'm that bitch that took a sociology class and watched one documentary and got really like bothered by it, I'm gonna make a video. What?
Triggered.
I'm gonna make a video about how I try to shop now. I haven't done this like forever, so I don't know 100% like all the facts and everything about it, but it's something that I'm diving into and something that I try and think about when I buy things, since I don't buy things that often. I'm gonna go through the haul that I probably have posted already. I bookmarked all these like articles and parts of company pages. What I looked up for these items are labor laws and if they have anything about where their stuff is made or anything like that. By the way, the documentary that made me start to think of this kind of stuff is called The True Cost, and it's pretty crazy. And then if you research any other parts of the video, like what happened at Rana Plaza, you'll understand what I'm talking about and why it's so like disturbing. It might not be for everyone, like you might not want to know these things, but I don't know, it's something that I learned and that I'm trying to work on in myself and to make a better like footprint for myself. There is an article talking about LaborLink, and it's a mobile technology based in nonprofits from Fairtrade USA, and it uses automated calls, interactive voice response, and texting to survey workers about their working conditions, quality of life, and wages. So this is something that I don't know 100% all the facts about because I only have read this article about it, but the article mentions Rana Plaza and mentions like all the working conditions that these people have to go through. So they're talking about a factory that uses LaborLink in West Bengal, India, and it's a 500 employee factory. It makes clothes for fitness brands such as Prana and Gayam, and Gayam are where the pants come from, and it says in about 20 other European clothing lines. So that is supposed to be helping them. It means that they're aware of the working conditions, and companies like Gayam are behind LaborLink and using things that are trying to help the working conditions. So that's something that I look at, that just that they're acknowledging it too can help. You don't know all the facts of like if they're actually using it, if it actually works and all that stuff, but it's good to see that they're talking about it. For the like face thing or headband or whatever, it's from Threads for Thought, and as soon as you go on their website, the link Our Manufacturing, it talks about socially responsible manufacturing and how they manufacture in China, Kenya, India, and they recycle water, and it has like videos of their production and everything is right out there to be shown, and like you can click it. So it says where it's located, products that they use, which are supposed to be not harsh products to work with in a factory, the products that they make and what they use. So that's really good. But it's called Threads for Thought, so I'm assuming that they've probably made the company for that. The next thing is the wallet, and that's by Margaret Josephs, and for this one I couldn't find very much. It says it's made with Kennedy International, and nothing really comes up on their website for our company, and their like terms and conditions and everything doesn't say anything about any kind of labor laws or where it's made, but I'm pretty sure if you look at the label, I think it was made in China, which isn't very promising. Yeah, it says it's made in China, so that's not very promising. I don't know all the labor laws in China, and I know that international labor is usually cheap labor, and that's not good. So same kind of thing with the pouch. It's by Sandra Roberts, and like I said before, it didn't really show anything, and it says made in China, so that doesn't look good either. Like what gets me with this kind of stuff is like I don't want to buy it when it's made in China and I don't know where it's made and I don't know the labor laws or anything, but it's something that I'm still researching. Like I still need to look at all the China labor laws. I still need to look at what companies like use labor in what places and what working conditions are in each of these countries and everything. And it's something that takes a lot of research and a lot of time, and I don't necessarily have all of the tools and amount of time that it takes to research all this stuff, especially when it's not really like, this is kind of my own thing. Like I still have school and all that stuff that I'm studying, but this is kind of something I study on my own, and I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect. I'm sure things that we buy and not think about every day are made shittily by people that are underpaid and overworked, and depending on the country may or may not be able to live off of their wages. So this even happens in the US. Like, there are homeless people, there are people that aren't making a living wage and have to kill themselves with like 3 jobs and shitty working conditions and stuff like that. So it's all different perspectives, but I just try and like remember the brands too, like Threads for Thought and Gaiam, and the ones that I've noticed have better laws and actually acknowledge these kinds of things, and I go back to those kinds of things, and I stay away from things that I learn about later, which I should probably learn about before, but like I said, nobody's perfect. Someone in my sociology class talked about reconciling being a human being and being socially conscious. I think that's like a fine line, and a lot of times it's hard to be both. So moving on. So pretty much with the notebook and eyelashes, all of the pairs, it's kind of the same thing with the pouch and the wallet. I couldn't find like too much on them, but so for the eyelashes on the box, it's by Jocot Brands. I couldn't really find labor laws for them. I found like a terms and conditions page. Same with some of the other things, like the notebook for Fringe Studios, I think it was. But this one says made in China. And then these ones, the vintage ones, are a British brand, I'm pretty sure. And I couldn't find much on these either. It's hard to really know where these are made and all that kind of stuff, because it's hard to really look up and research unless you have like certain tools or ways to find out, and I don't know yet. But like what I'm really looking at is like shoes, bags, clothing, things that are like garment factory made. Hopefully not, but yeah. And then on this thing it says designed in the USA, made in China. So it's interesting that they include the design and made. And this is a TJ Maxx brand, and I found a couple things about TJ Maxx being a little shady, but it's saying that their low wages paid at factories located as far apart as downtown Los Angeles and Southeast Asia. But like I said, it happens in not just in other countries but here too. So it's saying that Southern California has been accused of like too low wages and crappy working conditions. So TJ Maxx is among one of the like brands that has been accused of these kinds of things, which doesn't go for some of the things that they sell because they resell things, but like these kinds of things are a TJ Maxx brand inside itself. So another thing, I went to Target and I was looking up their labor laws, and they have a section about it. I don't have it bookmarked right now because I looked up a while ago, but it made me feel better, I remember, about shopping and buying Target brand things. They have quite a few extensive paragraphs and a couple links when it comes to theirs, so I remember that. So the last two things that I got were the backpack and the coat. And so for the Kipling bag, it has at the very bottom of Kipling's webpage, Kipling USA, it has a California Transparency and Supply Chains Act disclosure statement, and it talks about, at VF we will not knowingly work with factories that use forced labor. So it addresses that and has a lot of factory audit information and certification accountability. So it has a whole page about this, but along with some other pages, like even Target's a little bit, it doesn't necessarily name specific consequences for using this labor, and they're not completely transparent about their process, but they mention it, and it's something that not every company, as we see in this video, does. So the last one is Jerry, I think that's how you say it, and that's the coat, and it's Jerry Outdoors. So on like their About Us and everything, it doesn't really say much about anything with the labor. I couldn't really find much on the labor, but it does have faux fur. That's something that it was a tag on there, so I was just like, okay, it's faux fur. I feel better about buying this than I would have if it wasn't. If it wasn't, I probably wouldn't have bought it. So now you can see that it takes a lot of research to shop how I tend to do, and how you can even just like start looking into that yourself if it's something that interests you, or if it's something that you want to, you know, hop on board and care about. It's good to think about places other than just the US and people other than yourself sometimes. So that's it for this video. If you haven't watched the haul that this was based off of, you should probably have watched that first, but if not, go watch it now. Watch all my videos if you want, and subscribe. Follow my social media, it'll be linked in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!